Storm and flood. These two words always carry feelings of horror and pain. They are not just tropical storms with high winds, heavy rain and strong ocean waves. They are also a symbol of destruction and disaster, especially when it comes to China, a country located in an area with many risks of natural disasters and floods. Since the early days of history, Yangtze River storm and flood in 1931, the biggest disaster in Chinese history. In Chinese history, the 1931 Yangtze storm and flood are considered one of the largest natural disasters and floods ever caused, killing millions of people and causing great property damage. This storm left a painful and unforgettable mark in the history of the Chinese nation, and is still remembered as a symbol of the perseverance and solidarity of the Chinese people in the face of the pandemic. With natural disasters and harsh nature. Cause and beginning of the disaster. In 1931, a terrible storm began to form in the East Sea. Over time, it became more and more intense and became a major storm. This storm made landfall in the Yangtze region, one of the largest and most important rivers in China. What is amazing is that this storm was not limited to the Yangtze area but also spread to all rivers and reservoirs in the Yangtze River basin, including the Yellow River and Yangtze River, creating a unprecedented flood. Can be controlled. The duration of this flood storm lasted from July 1931 to November 1931, making it one of the longest-lasting storms in Chinese history. During this time, rain continuously fell, causing water to rise rapidly, overflowing banks and blocking traffic, cutting off the supply of food and drinking water and creating devastating floods. Think. Terrifying impact. The Yangtze flood of 1931 had a staggering impact. Millions of people were affected and millions of homes were destroyed. The terrible scene of rising water waves sweeping away everything in their path has become a symbol of this disaster. In addition to loss of life and property, this storm and flood also greatly affected China's economy and social life. Agricultural areas were hit hard, leading to crop failures and food shortages. Roads and infrastructure were destroyed, making it difficult to access relief and provide medical services. Consequences and solutions. Although the 1931 Yangtze flood caused unimaginable disasters, China gradually recovered and rebuilt. Reconstruction efforts focused on rebuilding infrastructure systems such as roads, bridges and irrigation systems. In addition, solutions to respond to natural disasters and floods have also been strengthened. In 1931, the Chinese government established the Yangtze Dam Construction Organization to control the water level of the Yangtze River and prevent flooding. To ensure safety for people and property, dam systems and large irrigation projects were built and upgraded. The patience and recovery of the Chinese people after the 1931 Yangtze storm and flood also created an important lever for the country's development and recovery. This post-disaster recovery has laid the foundation for sustainable development in sectors such as agriculture, infrastructure and water resources management. One of the important takeaways from this disaster is the importance of building an effective warning system and preparing a response plan before a disaster occurs. China has invested in building a warning system and community solidarity to minimize the impact of natural disasters and floods. The 1931 Yangtze storm and flood also promoted research into measures to prevent and respond to natural disasters, not only in China but around the world. Other countries have also learned from China's experience and adopted similar preventive measures to minimize the impact of natural disasters and extreme events. Finally, the 1931 Yangtze storm and flood marked an important moment in the history of natural disaster and flood response in China. This disaster left a deep mark on the spirit of solidarity, resilience of the Chinese people. It has generated valuable lessons on disaster preparedness and response, while promoting development and awareness of natural risk management. Yellow River Flood and Storm of 1954. Great disaster in the Yellow River region. In 1954, an extremely powerful historic storm struck the Yellow River region in China, creating one of the largest natural disasters and floods ever recorded in the country's history. This storm caused devastating floods, killed millions of people and destroyed hundreds of thousands of homes, leaving a bold mark of nature's horror. Cause and beginning of the disaster. In 1954, this historic storm formed in the East Sea and gradually strengthened over time. The storm moved northwest and made landfall in the Yellow River region, home to one of the largest and most important river systems in China. What is especially noteworthy is that this storm lasted for a long time, from August to November 1954, creating a bizarre and uncontrollable flood. The Yellow River flood storm in 1954 caused the Yellow River water level to skyrocket, overflow its banks and spread everywhere, causing serious flooding. This storm also affected many other rivers in the region, creating global flooding with widespread effects. Terrifying impact. The impact of the Yellow River flood of 1954 was terrible and astonishing. The floods were widespread, affecting millions of people and destroying hundreds of thousands of homes. The sight of rising waves and floods sweeping away everything in their path has become a symbol of this disaster. In addition to human and property damage, this storm also greatly affected the economy and social life of the Yellow River region. Many agricultural areas were severely affected, causing crop failures and food shortages. Roads and infrastructure were destroyed, making it difficult to access relief and provide medical services. Unite and overcome. In the face of this historic storm, the Chinese people have shown an unwavering spirit of solidarity and resilience. They work together to save people trapped in the water, provide relief to those in need, and create response plans. In addition, charitable organizations and international organizations also contribute to relief and support to overcome the consequences of storms and floods. Thanks to everyone's solidarity and dedication, the recovery process has begun. Consequences and recovery methods. Although the 1954 Yellow River storm and flood caused severe and painful consequences, the Yellow River region and China gradually recovered and rebuilt. Reconstruction efforts focus on rebuilding infrastructure systems, such as roads, bridges and irrigation systems. In addition, solutions to respond to natural disasters and floods have also been strengthened. The 1954 Yellow River flood storm marked an important moment in the history of natural disaster and flood response in China. This disaster left a deep mark on the spirit of solidarity, patience and resilience of the Chinese people. It has created valuable lessons on preparing for and responding to natural disasters and extremes of nature. Learning from the 1954 storm and flood, China has invested heavily in dam and irrigation systems to reduce the risk of natural disasters and floods. Warning and response systems have also been significantly improved, helping to prevent greater damage in the future. Therefore, the Yellow River flood storm of 1954 left a big mark in Chinese history and became a valuable lesson about preparation and solidarity in the face of natural disasters and harsh nature. Floods in China have been and remain one of the major challenges facing the country. Disasters caused by natural disasters not only cause loss of life and property but also test the solidarity and patience of the Chinese people. However, we also see that in every difficulty, the strength and pride of the Chinese people have risen. Although floods are always a threat, China is still proud of its spirit of solidarity and patience in the face of natural disasters and harsh nature. This is a clear testament to the strength and resilience of people when united and cooperative. We hope that these lessons will continue to be developed and help reduce flood damage in the future.